I don't want to advertise for Allstate because they're not paying us.
Right. I
But
have no idea.
You haven't seen the Allstate ads on Hulu?
I don't know
With the fucking man that's half motorcycle?
Oh, yeah, the Motor.
Yeah. I hate them.
First, I hate those mainly because it should be Motar, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, you don't say Centaur. Yeah. I guess some people say Centaur, but...
Yes.
It's a good pun.
It's a good pun. That man is very handsome.
That man is very handsome, the Motor man, whose lower body is a motorcycle, in case you haven't seen the ads.
The ads suck, though, so don't look them up.
The ads are not good or funny, or... they're just people doing microaggressions against this fictional race of Motors.
Mm-hmm. Hello, and welcome to Late to School, a My Hero Academia watchcast. I'm Lorena.
And I'm Zach.
And we're watching more My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
These are bad. Our intros are bad.
We know roughly how to pronounce it now, I think.
Yeah,
So that's an improvement.
They were watching 2 episodes.
Yeah.
First of which is episode 4, Start Line, which aired April 24th, 2016 in Japan, and June 2nd, 2018 in English.
4 days late. In Japan.
Damn.
The weed
The
one.
sex number.
Uh-huh.
And the start of this episode is sort of an info dump.
Mm-hmm.
About, like, some of the top pro heroes.
Yeah.
Such as All Might.
All Might, who we know. Also, the fiery hero Endeavor.
Yeah.
Who we see, he's a buff boy with a fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the denim-clad award-winning Marvel, Best Jeanist.
Yes. So, I don't know if now is the best time to talk about this.
Uh-huh.
But this is when we're introduced to Best Jeanist, so I may as well.
Wait, hang on. Best Jeanist will recur?
Oh yeah, he'll show up again.
Okay.
So Best Jeanist is a fucking competition in... I can't remember if it's Korea or Japan. I know that a K-pop group won it once, but I don't know where the competition is set. It's basically just an award for who can make denim look the most fashionable. It's a real thing. And then the fucking...
Okay.
I've already forgotten his name. Kohai something. Was just like, what if that was a superhero in my manga?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm glad. Is Endeavor a pun or on anything, or is it just...
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He's a big fireman.
He's just a big man who does fire, and he's called Endeavor.
Yeah.
But yeah, and after we are introduced to that new information, sort of, which is not at all relevant to the episode itself.
No.
We get just, more of a recap from Izuku, who is like, I'm gonna do the thing. Gonna the school, the exam, mock battle.
Yeah.
Very nervous. Incredibly nerve-wracking. And we see a bunch of people, like a lot of the other hopeful students.
Yeah, they're like all milling about.
Yeah, they're
outside the gate to the simulated city.
Yeah. And they're commenting on the size of this facility that's just like a real city. Mm-hmm. And one kid does mention, can you imagine how much it costs to build this? And I do have to wonder.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Investment to build all these giant robots.
Yeah, the cities themselves are not like the size of a real city. They're the size of like a district,
block, maybe. Yeah,
in a city. A ward in Tokyo, maybe. Maybe even smaller than that. But there are a lot of them.
Yeah, there's like what, 5 of them? I think they established last time.
Or I think it's 5. For some reason, I want to say 10, but that's too much.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah. But yeah,
that would be the total size of 10 of them. Would be like an entire city.
Yeah.
I just wonder about the logistics of how much money is going into this school.
Yeah.
And Izuku is nervous.
Yeah.
As we have mentioned. And he spots the girl from last time.
Who we know is named Ochako.
Yes.
From
the next time on?
From the next time on.
Right. So we can just call her that.
Yeah. It's... You only know a lot of these characters by their first names, so I'm calling them by their first names, but I am used to referring to them by their last names because that's what happens for the majority of this show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, Japan, you don't call someone by their given name unless you're, like, pretty close, or you're a douchebag, or you're really casual with people in general.
Yeah, okay. And he wants to go thank her for helping him out earlier.
Yeah.
Because she saved him from eating shit. But he is stopped.
Sorry, I just want to say, is his reaction to seeing one person he knows in this crowd of strangers is very relatable. Yes. It's just like
must interact,
must feel safe with fucking familiarity.
Someone you have vaguely exchanged words with is just a literal fucking life jacket. Just that's been thrown to you off the side of life's ship.
But before he can approach her, he is stopped by a hand on his shoulder.
And it's that fucking guy, that asshole.
It's
the guy with the glasses.
It's the big buff glasses boy.
And the one who complained about Izuku muttering to himself during the explanation given by DJ Mike or whatever his name is. Present Mike.
Name.
What's the present part?
Present? But
present
it
Mike?
is.
But they don't pronounce it like that.
Yeah.
They don't pronounce it like that.
I don't know.
But yeah, the glasses boy, tells Izuku that he probably shouldn't bother her.
Yeah.
Because he sees her going towards her. And
we see her, she's, psyching herself up and trying to keep calm. And Glasses Boy points this out and is like, don't distract her.
And Izuku gets kind of awkward and vaguely defensive, but is like, oh yeah, you're right. Which is fair. Fucking Glasses Boy is filling the role of Izuku's social anxiety. And then also other people hear him talking and start fucking gossiping about how he nearly fucking ate shit.
Yeah, that's that kid that ate shit.
And they're basically all just like, well, he's fucked. Don't gotta worry about him. Not a competitor. It's also not a competition, but...
No. Well...
I guess it's kind of
there are a limited number of points to get in the test.
And then Present Mike is here, and he's like, go! It started! No countdowns in real life.
It's very realistic, the way in which, he's like, go! And all the kids just stay. They just stand staring at him, and he's like, come on, get going! And then they all are like, oh shit, he's being serious. He's not. We should go.
Izuku is slightly behind the others.
The bell doesn't dismiss us, Present Mike does. Izuku does get stuck behind.
Yeah. And he tries to follow behind into the arena of cityscape.
Yep.
The simulated city. I forgot we already had a term for that.
Yeah.
Can that be our our new Twitter location when we publish this?
Maybe.
The simulated city. And he's running through the city, but he is ambushed by a big robot that I believe has like a shield and a gun arm.
It looks like a fucking Zaku from Gundam, if you're familiar.
I am not.
I know you're not, but you know.
For the audience.
Yeah.
I think it has a 1 painted on the shield.
It does, yeah.
Which denotes,
1 point.
It's a 1 point robot. And Izuku is like, I mean, he's scared.
He's very scared.
He's just scared of it.
And he's like trying to come up with a strategy to deal with it. And he's like, well, I don't know how to use my power yet, so what do I do?
And while he's panicking, a laser just fucks up the robot. And we see a boy, a blonde boy, who has what looks like a belt.
It's fucking Lawrence Hellman Gloucester fucking ass.
He shot the laser from his weird belt thing. And he says, what does he say in French to Izuku? He says something in French and then
I don't
continues
remember.
in English. Merci beaucoup. I think that was it. I think he
just means thanks very much.
Yeah. He thanks Izuku in French for distracting the robot so he could get the point. And then has some fucking thing about we would make a good team, except I don't think you're gonna pass this. Bye!
And he leaves, and he's bad.
Okay. Is he a French stereotype? Does he count as a French stereotype?
Well, first of all, I don't think he's really French.
Okay. He's just a pretentious ass.
He's just a pretentious ass kid. Yeah.
And Izuku sort of just scrambles around trying to find, like, more robots that he can get points from.
And he sees other kids, like, taking them before he can.
And, like, the other kids just, like, are chatting to, either, like, yelling to themselves, like, victoriously about how many points they've gotten now, or chatting to each other about how many points they have.
I think we see Glasses Boy's powers.
Yes.
He's, like, running really fast, and he's, like, has fucking horrible engines in his calves. We see Ochako also. She's, like, touching the robots, making them float up, and then dropping them down.
And then she's like, that had to be at least, like, 32 points. And Izuku's like, 32? And then, meanwhile, elsewhere, we see a dark room.
Yes.
Where there's a bunch of chairs looking at screens. Presumably there are people in the chairs. We hear their voices at this point, discussing things. They're discussing, how well everyone's doing. We see on the screens, Engine Calves Boy. We see Ochako, I think. We also see Bakugo.
Yeah.
Who is not in the same area as Izuku. But and I think we do see in the chairs. And now this scene is quite dark. It's quite a dark room.
Yeah, we see some of the people in the chairs though.
Yeah. And was it just my not being able to see good, or was one of the people in the chairs like a fucking teddy bear?
One of the people in the chairs was some sort of rat, some sort of mouse, a rodent of some description.
A small animal that talked with a deep man's voice.
No, not a deep man's voice, but a man's voice, certainly.
Okay. I remembered it being I guess maybe deep for a rat.
Yeah, his voice is very soft.
Okay. You can have a soft and deep voice.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but...
Okay. But yeah, there's just a rat.
There's just a rat.
There's just a rat boy, and,
yeah.
He's a superhero, I guess. His fucking superpower is the superpower that Stewart Little has in the book Stewart Little.
You don't know how close you actually are.
Really?
Yeah.
This is just a human man who was born as a mouse.
It's not like a big spoiler, but I do think the reveal of what his power actually is pretty funny, so I'm gonna leave it.
Okay. I can't imagine... I mean, I hope it's just what I just said. Do you ever think about that with Stewart Little, the book?
No, I've never read the book.
Okay, yeah, because in the movie he's just a mouse that's at an orphanage and they adopt him.
Yeah.
In the book, he's just a baby. He's a human baby, but he was born real small and with fur and a snout and a little tail.
We can't go into this. We can't do this. We can't talk this much about Stewart Little.
Anyway, and the people in the room discussing what's happening decide to fucking up the ante.
Yes.
And one of them pushes a big button. And then we cut back in the mock battle. The test is quickly coming to an end. The end approacheth. And Izuku still has 0 points.
Yes.
And he is not having it. And then a fucking big robot.
Yep.
I couldn't think of a funny way to phrase big robot, and I feel like that's a Jaeger. I don't know.
Not every word you say has to be funny.
I guess. It's a big fucking robot.
It really is.
It's the biggest robot.
It crashes through some buildings.
Yes. And, which also, that's gotta be expensive to repair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine the fucking cost of just putting this giant robot together. And then using it for the express purpose of training children to be superheroes.
15-year-olds.
Training 15-year-olds to be superheroes. Is that glasses guy really 15?
Yes. Welcome to anime.
He looks 30.
He's 15.
But yeah, so there's a big robot. And we get a flashback to President Mike's explanation of the mock battle. And we are reminded that there are 4 types of robots. 3 of which give points, 1, 2, or 3 points, and 1 of which gives 0 points.
Yes.
For being defeated.
Because it's an obstacle.
It's just an obstacle that you have to avoid.
Yeah.
And this is the 0-pointer. And after that flashback, Izuku is just like, isn't this kind of overkill? And everyone begins to flee from the giant robot so they can just keep getting more points from the little robot.
Izuku is like panicking on the ground. Just staring in horror at the giant robot, like, I don't have any points, what do the giant robot's gonna really fuck me up and I don't have any points, I can't do this!
And then he does start to run away, but then he turns back and sees as the dust sort of clears.
We also see Engine Boy running past Izuku. Like, take a glance at him as, like, considering, hey, maybe I should help him? No. And then he keeps going.
Yes. And then Izuku does start to run. And then turns back for a second. And we see that as the dust clears on all the falling rubble, we see that trapped under the rubble is Ochako. She is, like, pinned by her leg.
Yeah.
And is going to be crushed. Which seems like a lot.
It sure does.
I hope there's maybe, safety precautions.
There's at least one safety precaution that we see later.
Yeah, but
that might not be enough.
I don't think... Yeah, we'll talk about that when it comes up. And Izuku freezes. And then runs towards the giant robot.
Yep.
And we do hear his internal monologue, like, what the fuck am I doing? Again, like, with the slime man.
Mm-hmm.
But he is determined not to let her get hurt by this giant monster, because she helped him.
Yeah.
And also, he's just a nice boy.
Yeah, and I think in this moment, he sort of remembers, like, okay, I haven't used my powers at all, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And he, like, flashes back.
Yes.
To the beach. And we see him swallowing the hair.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really feel different. And All Might's like, well, you gotta digest it, bud. And he gets ready to leave. He's like, I haven't showered or eaten, I need to go. And All Might's like, okay, listen, be careful. You don't have time to practice with this thing. One for All can really fuck you up if your body's not used to it. You trained a lot, but it was real quick. So just be careful, young man.
Young man.
He does call Izuku young man a lot, which I like. It's a nice little verbal tick.
Fly yourself off the ground.
Well, then we cut back to the present. And Izuku activates One for All.
Yeah. And he does a big jump. And just up to the face of the giant robot.
Oh, right. Sorry, there's another important thing All Might says. All Might tells him that before he activates his power, to clench his butt cheeks and scream from the depths of his soul, or something to that effect. Smash! And then in this moment, Izuku remembers that, and we sort of hear him, he like pulls back his arm.
We see it start to glow, like lines of glowing energy encompass his arm.
And we hear him internally yelling, smash, as he smashes the robot.
He one punches this robot in the face, and it topples over backwards.
And we see him with his arm looking completely fucked up. And also his legs bad.
We do also see, like, everyone just watches this happen in the crowd of other kids getting their points from the other robots. And we also see the judges, the judges' room, the dark room with the screens.
Yeah.
And they are like, good. We do also see at this point that All Might is in that room.
Yeah.
He is also watching.
He is also notably in skinny mode.
He's in skinny mode,
which we will not get an explanation for this episode.
Yeah. He's in skinny mode in front of other people,
Yeah.
That is weird. And he is sort of internally monologuing about Izuku's self-sacrifice. And yeah, now Izuku is in the air and is starting to fall because he's very high up.
Yep.
And he is like, okay, shit, what do I need to fucking Detroit smash the ground to, like, break my fall, or what do I need to do? And then he realizes that his arm is broken.
Yep.
And also his legs are broken. His arm is also fucking burnt, it looks like. It's probably bruised. It's probably supposed to be bruised.
It's bruising. It's not... It's meant to be a depiction of bruising. It's just kind of stylized, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. It's broken everywhere.
Yeah.
On the arm. Name a part of the arm, that's the part that breaks. And he is about to, like, try his damnedest with his one remaining unbroken arm to break his fall, so he does not die. And he's
like 2 feet away from the ground when Ochako slaps him across the face, and he begins floating gently. And then she sort of puts her hands together and is like, and release, and leans over the piece of rubble that was previously
pinning her down. And he falls. But falls a very short distance and is safe. And then Ochako vomits.
Yes.
She vomits rainbows, apparently. There's a rainbow sparkle effect.
I don't know if that's real or if it's just because she's a girl.
Or maybe it might not just be because she's a girl. It might be her personality.
Yeah, true.
She's a girl who's also very bubbly and...
Yeah.
But yeah, then she vomits and passes out.
Mm-hmm.
And Izuku is like, holy shit, she saved me.
Mm-hmm.
And then is like, wait, shit, I still have 0 points.
Maybe I can get some more. And then President Mike announces that the test is over.
And Izuku passes the fuck out. And then the others in the crowd of students sort of comment on his like surprisingly strong quirk. But also, boy, it fucked up his body real bad, huh? How'd that happen?
Quirks aren't supposed to do that.
I think literally someone in the crowd is like, it's like he's not used to his quirk. And then the glasses boy with the rocket cabs. I can't wait till we actually learn this cat's name. I mean, we
know it.
I know it, but
we could use it if not for the. I want to say edifice, but I don't think that's the right word.
Pretense.
The pretense of the show.
The facade.
Yeah.
The kayfabe. He's the only one who, like, realizes, holy shit, he gave up his, like, chance of actually getting points to save that girl. That's amazing.
And he's like, and he flashes back to when he just ran past Izuku.
Yeah.
And he's like, of course, if this hadn't been a test, I would have done it too. But then another person appears.
Yes. We see a small person.
A small old lady. Who is... She's not dressed like a nurse, but she is dressed like a nurse, if you understand what that means.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I look at her and I'm like, that's a nurse.
That's a nurse right there. And she gives some gummies to some of the students and is very sweet and nice. Is greeting everyone, congratulating everyone on a job well done. And then she sees Izuku's broken form.
Right. I think before that, Fancy Boy points out that, oh, hey, that mademoiselle is the backbone, the heart of UA Academy. That's Recovery Girl.
And she sees Izuku and is like, oh, you got really fucked up, huh, kid?
That is basically what she sounds like.
That's basically what she's...
Her voice actress.
Oh, yeah?
Her voice actress is Julie Erickson, who... I couldn't find any, like, major named roles for her, but she plays a bunch of grandmas in stuff, in animes.
Fair enough.
I think she's retired now.
Okay. As grandmas are wont to be.
Yeah. Her Japanese voice actress is Etsuko Kazakura.
Okay.
Who plays Piplup in various Pokemon anime related media, and also Omochao in the Sonic series.
Okay.
Also all of the cat yokai in Yokai Watch.
Okay. All of the cat ones specifically. Okay. But yeah, she does the grandma thing and gives Izuku a kiss on the head to make it better.
And it actually does.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it does in real life too. But
fair.
It does sort of extra here. His broken arm just slowly moves back into place, and his legs reform properly, and he regains consciousness. So that's one safety measure.
Yeah.
My problem with that safety measure is I'm not sure if she can revive the dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if Ochako got insta-crushed, I don't know if she can kiss the bloodied pulp.
Unclear. Unsure of the extent of her abilities.
That would be fucked up also if she could do that, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's alive. He's fine. And 1 week later, we skip time skip. We see Izuku staring at a fish, and his mom
His dreams are fish food.
His dreams are fish food. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
His dreams are fish food. He's eating the fish.
Mm-hmm.
His dreams are... Oh my god.
I don't think that's intentional,
That
but...
has to be intentional.
Okay.
It's too good not to be. His mom is like, Izuku, why are you smiling at that fish? And he's just zoning out.
Mm-hmm.
He internally monologues that he's pretty fucking sure that he flunked the exam.
Mm-hmm.
And also, All Might has not been in contact with him for the past week. And he's just sort of zoning out and thinking about how his dreams are done.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, a shame.
Yeah.
And then as he's contemplating that...
It is really sad.
It's really sad.
We're glossing over it because there's no way to, really give it the weight that the show does.
Yeah.
But it's very sad. It's done in a way that makes me cry.
Mm-hmm. Then his mom,
mm-hmm.
after a certain point, we just see him later,
we see
dinner.
a montage of him being depressed.
Yes. And then as he's just on the couch, sad,
mm-hmm.
his mom sort of panically runs in and
on all fours, and she shows him the invitation to Super Smash Brothers that he's gotten. The letter got sent back from UA, mm-hmm.
and he sort of excitedly but nervously but sadly takes it, and he takes it into his room.
Before we go further,
yeah,
I do want to say his mom's voice actress.
Oh, did we not point this out?
No, I don't think we did.
Huh.
Also, her name is Inko, which I don't know if that ever gets said in the show.
Inka or Inko?
Inko Midoriya.
Okay.
Her English voice actress is Jessica Kavanaugh, who again could not find a lot of named roles, but moms.
A lot of moms.
She plays moms.
Okay.
And her Japanese voice actress is Aya Kawakami.
Mm-hmm.
Only her. Only plays Inko.
Really? Okay. Oh. So yeah, we see the door to Izuku's room,
mm-hmm.
and he's got a little All Might themed sign
yes.
with his All Might's hair antennas on it, but it says the name Izuku on it. Which had to be either custom made or he just found one of those things that just says Katie or whatever.
I mean, at least in anime, I don't know if this is true of real Japan. But nameplates on bedroom doors are common.
Okay.
So in the anime universe,
probably they just sell a bunch of popular.
They just
names
sell. Well, they probably sell popular names and also maybe blank ones.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, he is at his desk in his room,
mm-hmm.
looking at this envelope with a red little seal on it,
mm-hmm.
and he is contemplating opening it,
mm-hmm.
and then steels himself and opens it, and what comes, he just fucking rips it open from both sides, which seems hard to do, but I guess he has super strength now.
Well,
I'm pretty sure he's not using it here, though.
He can't use it here, or he'd break his arms. He'd
break his fucking wrists trying to open this letter. But what comes out of it is not a letter. It's a little thingy. It's a little circular device. And that circular device projects an image onto Izuku's wall, and we see All Might saying, "I'm on the projector now." And apparently this is a two-way communication.
No, it's not.
It's not? It's a pre-recorded? It's
pre-recorded.
Okay. But it is recorded specifically for...
It is recorded for Izuku. Yes.
And All Might is in a bright yellow suit also. Also, I think the background behind him looks like a fucking 80s game show for some reason.
It basically does, yeah.
He also looks like a game show host with that yellow suit. And All Might apologizes for not contacting Izuku earlier. Because he had a bunch of paperwork. Because he is a new instructor at UA.
Yeah.
Which is why he was in the city to begin with. And he explains Izuku's results. Which is that he did okay on the written test. And got 0 points on the practical test. And Izuku is very...
He's like, I know about that.
and he's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But All Might continues, in a very boisterous, again, game show host type way. Stay tuned! Turn your eyes to the screen! And he points to another screen
within the hologram
where there's a recording of Ochako.
Yes.
Who is going up to President Mike
mm-hmm.
and talking to him and explaining that Izuku, well, she doesn't know his name.
That boy with the messy hair, he's got his face, I don't know how to describe him, he's kind of plain. And Izuku's like, oh, she's talking about me! I'm like, imagine!
Very, very Lego Movie-esque. But she explains that he saved her, and she wanted to know if she could give him some of her points.
Mm-hmm.
And President Mike is like,
thanks for calling in with your request.
But it's fine. You don't have to. He's doing fine. He doesn't need your help because there were other factors. The judges rewarded rescue points, secret rescue points, for heroic deeds during the test.
Yeah.
Which both Izuku and Ochako got.
Yeah.
Because they saved each other.
Yes. And
Izuku was the 7th highest scoring student because he got 60 rescue points.
Yeah.
And that's enough, more than enough, to pass the exam.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends with Izuku being very excited.
Mm-hmm. And All Might welcoming him to the Hero Academia.
I think he might even say Your Hero Academia.
I think he does, yeah. Well, he says Academia.
Academia,
because
right,
that's the pronunciation.
I don't know, I still don't know what the UA stands for. But...
I should have looked it up. I don't know if it ever gets explained.
But then there is actually an after credit scene.
Yes, yeah.
With we see Izuku's mom still waiting outside his door, like nervously, and then he opens the door and he is happy crying, and she also happy cries in pride and happiness for him, and then the episode properly ends.
Yeah,
and it's very good.
It's very good. The next episode is episode 5. I don't know what emphasis to put on this title. What I can do for now.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Okay. It first aired May 1st, 2016 in Japan, and June 9th, 2018 in English.
So, we see the scores.
Yes.
We see the scores of the mock battle last time, and we hear the judges talking about them.
It's unclear when this scene happens.
Yeah.
It's like it really could be right after the exam, or it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. They point out that we learned the highest scoring student who got the student who got the highest score, which was Katsuki Bakugo. Katsuki Bakugo. I got it.
Okay. Are you sure
we can keep that in? That's fine.
Okay.
I have no shame.
That's fair. Yeah, Bakugo got the highest score.
He got the most points, but without a single rescue point.
Yes. Which, we know from the first episode that he fucking aced the practice exam. So he's good at using his powers and pretty smart, but also an asshole.
Yep. Which I guess we knew already, but that just sort of reinforces it. Meanwhile, Izuku passed and got into the school, but didn't get a single actual combat point. He only got rescue points. And then we cut and we see at the Dagobah beach.
Yes.
Izuku meets up with All Might, who is in skinny mode.
And Izuku does yell, "Hey, All Might!" And All Might's like, "Hey, keep it down!" And fucking couple on a pier nearby are like, "All Might? Where is he?"
And
Zuku's like, I was mistaken, it was just a joke.
But yeah, All Might congratulates Izuku on getting into UA, and Izuku thanks him for all his help. And All Might does point out he got in entirely because of what he did.
Yes.
He did, like, All Might was not on the panel of judges, and he did not put in a word for Izuku or anything. He hasn't told anyone that he's been mentoring Izuku, so it was all him, which is very cool also.
Yeah.
He also, again, like, reiterates that, I think actually Izuku mentions he's surprised that he's the new instructor, but then is like, actually, no, that makes sense, because as everyone knows, your agency is in Minato, Tokyo, and then All Might just interrupts him and he's like, getting creepy, kid!
It's very funny.
And All Might basically reiterates that he's going to have to still get used to One for All, because it real fucked up his body last time.
It sure did.
Oh, he also, as he's explaining that he needs to, like, get more and more used to One for All, he's like, what is he throwing into the air? Isn't he throwing something in the air that he then catches?
I don't remember. I don't remember what he had.
That definitely was a thing, right?
Yeah,
but I can't remember what the item was.
I don't know.
Weird.
Like a shell, maybe?
Maybe. But then he just fucking crushes it in his big, beefy fist as he has transformed.
Oh, he has a can. He has an empty can.
Right. I think it's like 2 empty cans, actually.
Yeah.
He, like, throws them both in the air and then crushes them both as he shifts into buff mode.
And then the 2 people on the pier nearby are like, hey, All Might is here! And All Might's like, now we run! And they start running down the beach. And All Might sort of, like, internally is like, I'm really impressed with Izuku. He's very cool.
And he does say, I can't remember the exact quote, but I think he says this to Izuku as they're running. He says some encouragement and reinforcement of his, like, self-sacrificing nature, and that's being what's most important to being a hero, and then is like, deep stuff, All Might.
I think he says that to himself.
Okay.
That part is internal.
Okay. And then we skip forward in time, and it's school time.
Yeah.
UA is not a sky high. It's not in the sky. It's on the ground.
It's just like it's like a technical academy, basically.
Yeah, you would never look at this building and be like, superhero stuff happens here. Superhero stuff should happen in, like, towers, I think.
Yeah, but then this is also they also teach normal stuff.
They do also teach normal stuff.
As we'll see later. Not in this episode, but...
But also, God, the grounds must be so vast to have all these city things.
I don't know, did they take a bus to those?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway. Izuku has arrived. He's wearing a new school uniform.
Yeah.
It's like a gray sort of suit. He has a very short tie. It's a very short red tie.
You know, gotta have a short red tie. Also, you would think a superhero school would maybe have at least more fun uniform colors.
Yeah. It's still a Japanese superhero school.
I guess, but you can make the uniforms.
It's still
like
a private superhero academy. So,
I guess. Hey, are there public superhero academies in this universe?
Probably not. Technically, in terms of what we as Americans think of as private schools, all high schools in Japan are private schools.
Okay, fair enough. So maybe there's public superhero schools in America.
Maybe.
But yeah, we see him at home first, and we see him packing and getting ready, and his mom checking to make sure he hasn't just packed action figures. So it is it's a boarding school, I guess. Like I assume he's... No? Okay, weird. What's he packing for?
Textbooks.
Why would he bring action figures?
His mom thinks he's a baby.
Okay, so not a boarding school.
No.
Okay, that's a shame. I like the aesthetics of fictional boarding schools. But,
yeah.
I also like the aesthetics of characters having actual fucking houses and families to go back to. And she tearfully is proud of him and tells him good luck and stuff. And then we see him go to the school, and he arrives at his classroom, which is class 1A, as he's internally monologuing about more bullshit. There's so much internal monologuing.
There's a lot of it in this show.
We couldn't note all of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just reiterating stuff we kind of already know.
Basically, yeah.
But yeah, he arrives at class 1A, which is his classroom, which seems convenient.
It sure does.
And also, the door is real fucking big.
The door is real big.
And he notes, are there giants at this school? Which probably yes.
Probably yes.
And he's also thinking about the other students that he probably got in, and is hoping maybe he just thinks about Bakugo and the rocket leg guy with the glasses, and he's like, maybe they got assigned a different class.
And he opens the door, and immediately we see Glasses Boy. We see Bakugo, who is like reclining in his chair and has his legs up on his desk, and we see Glasses Boy chastising him for getting school property dirty.
Making a mockery of this esteemed academy.
And Bakugo is basically just like, I'm gonna love kicking the shit out of you. And Glasses Boy is like, you would threaten me on the first day? And then they both see Izuku in the doorway.
And Bakugo is, scowly at Izuku, as he tends to be. But Glasses Boy is excited to talk to Izuku. And he sort of rushes up to him. And Izuku is concerned. But he introduces himself to Izuku.
As Tenya Ida.
Yes. So now we can stop calling him Glasses Boy with the weird legs. And he is basically like, you must have understood that there was another layer to the exam that no one else realized. You must be very perceptive. I look forward to, schooling with you.
He's like, you are a better student than I could ever hope to be. And Izuku internally is like, I don't think so.
And then also Ochako is here.
Yeah.
And Izuku is very attracted to her, it seems.
Yes, yeah. It's weird, there's a lot of that in these first few episodes, and then it kind of goes away.
Okay. Which is, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
fine by
with
me.
It.
Also, fairly accurate for a teenager that, slowly becomes friends with someone they're attracted to.
The ways in which we learn of Izuku's attraction to Ochako are much less gross than they could be.
Yes.
There's one line where he's like, oh, she looks good in that uniform, where I'm like, but it's fine. It's mostly fine.
Yeah. It's not like a sexual thing, it feels like. He's just like, thinks she's cute and is embarrassed and isn't good at talking to people.
And she is like very, very excited and is like complimenting him on his smash. And he's like, I should thank you for saving me also.
And he's blushing. His entire face is a tomato.
And then we sort of like zoom in on Bakugo for a second.
Yes.
Who is still just kind of scowling at Izuku. And we get a flashback to them in their former middle school principal's office.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, it's so cool that 2 students from our school got into UA. And then it immediately cuts.
Although he also adds, especially you, Izuku.
Yeah.
Because, no one saw that coming.
And then it's, cuts to Bakugo cornering Izuku in an alley and being like, how the fuck did you do that? How the fuck? I was gonna be the first student from this school to get into that academy. I'm gonna kill you. And that's sort of the end of the flashback, really.
Oh, actually, no, it's not. To
Sorry.
be fair, there's actually something important that happens in that scene.
Sorry,
hang on.
I got too caught up in my Bakugo impression.
It's okay. Izuku is crying as Bakugo is threatening him. But then he fucking lifts his chin up and stares down Bakugo and just explains that this was his fucking dream and he's not gonna let Bakugo ruin it for him.
Yeah.
Like, Izuku actually stands up for himself against Bakugo for the first time.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And then we cut back from that flashback where Ochako is still sort of just chatting with a not very paying attention Izuku. And then
we hear a voice.
Yeah, what does he say?
God, I don't remember. It's something like... I don't remember what he says.
I can't remember what he says. I didn't write it down. We hear a voice.
Who, like,
I think very bored-sounding voice.
Yeah, it kind of chides them, I think.
Yeah, it chides all the students.
And then we see...
behind Ochako, in the hallway still, is a caterpillar.
There's a man in a sleeping bag.
Yes. Who is only his face is visible at this time. Because the rest of him is covered by a big yellow sleeping bag. And he chides them some more for being idiots. I believe he does just call the class idiots.
He does call them idiots. He talks about how, like, it took them way too long to calm down, and that's not acceptable.
And it's not rational. Also, rational students would have, he says, would have calmed down faster. And he slips out of the sleeping bag. He's wearing, like, a black cloak, pretty much. I think it's like a long trench coat.
With a big scarf around his neck.
Yes, he's got long... I would call him Snape-like in demeanor and nature.
Yeah.
He's got some stubble on his face, which is not very Snape-like.
He has, like, very bored-looking but beady eyes.
Very bloodshot eyes, also.
Yes, yeah.
And long black hair. And he enters the classroom and explains that he is their homeroom teacher. And everybody is like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? And he wastes no time in just handing them out PE clothes and leading them to the PE fields in the school grounds.
Yep. I think Ochako, or someone, some girl, is like, hey, we're gonna miss the orientation. And he's like, well, at UA, we don't do things by the book. I can teach my class however the fuck I want. And I'm gonna test your quirks.
And he uses Bakugo as...
Has he said his name yet,
he has not said his name.
Okay.
I do think we get a cut to All Might.
And he's in
somewhere around here.
He's in like a faculty office somewhere, and he's like, who you get as your homeroom teacher can really, like, make or break your time at UA. And then he looks at Izuku's sheet and is like, shit, he got Aizawa.
And says to himself that he's gonna single out Izuku from the beginning.
Aizawa, for the record, Professor, I think, Aizawa. It's probably sensei in Japanese. Is played by Alex Organ.
Okay.
Who doesn't have a lot of names to his name again. He is Norway in Hitalia.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
Also, I don't know if I need to mention this, but we are going to have to talk about a lot of these characters and their voice actors again in Season 2.
Oh.
Because they change.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
His Japanese voice actor, though, is Junichi Sawabe, who is Aurelius Clover in the BlazBlue?
Oh, yeah.
Fighting game series? I don't know shit about those games.
Yeah.
He's Archer in the Fate franchise.
I was really gonna help you. I was really hoping you would say Archer. Just the Japanese dub of Archer.
No, unfortunately. He is also... okay. He's Grimjow Jaegerjacques in Bleach.
Oh, okay. I was gonna guess Attack on Titan.
No, that does sound like an Attack on Titan name.
Okay.
Anyway.
I really like his English voice acting, for the record. It's not at all what I would expect a character who looks like this to sound like.
Yeah.
But it works very well.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So yeah, he uses Bakugo as an example.
Yeah, he basically gives a speech on meritocracy to these 15-year-olds. He's like, you know, people need to accept that not everyone is created equal.
Uh-huh.
And standardized testing doesn't let you use your quirks, which doesn't allow those who are superior to excel.
Uh-huh.
Which is...
It's some real Incredibles bullshit.
Yeah, it's also
very
like...
Incredibles.
That doesn't... I don't want to spoil things, but, like, that stops being a thing for him very quickly.
Really? Okay.
It's very weird. Actually, I think I just remembered the reason for that. So
okay.
I think... I don't remember. It's been so long. Anyway.
We should probably talk about that character development when we get to the character development.
Yeah. But yeah, he's like, alright, Bakugo, how far could you throw without your quirk? And Bakugo gives a number, and it's pretty high.
It's like a 60-something, I want to say.
Yeah, 60 meters or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, alright, use your quirk. And Bakugo throws a baseball.
Yeah, he is handed a baseball, and he goes up to a little thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little...
It's a circle.
It's a circle. Yeah.
It's a circle with some lines.
Lines on it, yeah.
It's a distance throw pit.
And he throws a ball with an explosion behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes very far.
Mm-hmm.
And Aizawa has a little, what looks like a smartphone, basically.
Uh-huh.
But it's measuring the distance of the ball, I guess, somehow. It's superhero tech, who cares?
Yeah, there are probably smartphone apps that can do that.
Maybe. I feel like that'd be hard to program, but...
I guess. I don't know.
There's also fucking holograms and shit in this universe, and giant robots,
yeah,
so... It goes like 700 and some meters. And everyone sees this, and is like, oh, fuck yeah, that's cool as hell. Yeah. I want to do that. And everybody's very excited to participate in this quirk testing.
We also see the other students in Izuku's class for the first time. Like, really, we get a good look at all of them.
One of them is also the blonde boy.
Yeah.
Who with the laser.
The
laser belt. And everyone's excited.
Yeah.
But then Aizawa is like, no, stop being excited, because the student who ranks last in total points will be expelled. And everybody is like, hey, what the fuck?
Hey, that's...
The first class period, we have a test that if we fail at, we will get expelled. And Ochako is straight up like, hey, that's not fair. But then Aizawa goes on a screed about how the world is unfair, and a hero's job is to combat unfairness, which I feel like in this case would mean punching him, but unfortunately none of the other students share my assessment.
Yeah.
And everybody is very concerned about this, but especially Izuku.
Because he can't.
He can't
use his quirk.
Right now he is one for all for nothing. All or nothing. Like, he can either be at 0% power or 100.
And 100% breaks his bones.
Yep. And we also see All Might in the background. Yes. He's, like, hiding behind a building. He's in buff mode now.
Yeah.
And is trying to, like, check up on Izuku. And we see the test transpire.
Yeah, we get, like, a montage.
It's different, just basic physical activities like the throwing the ball or like dashing or.
We see some of the characters using their quirks. We see like Bakugo use his explosions to fucking ace a distance run.
Yes, by like making explosions behind him to propel him forward.
He is racing against a frog girl.
Yes,
who we'll meet more later.
Yeah, she does some hops. We get there's like a zoom in on Katsuki, and we hear Present Mike talking about him.
Yeah.
We hear him, Katsuki Bakugo, his quirk, explosion. And we'll get that for some other characters also.
Yeah. We see
the blonde boy.
We see the blonde boy who actually maybe he did the distance run and Bakugo was
I think there's
long jump or something. I don't remember.
There's multiple characters who did similar things. Like, I think everybody participates in all of them.
He uses his belly button laser.
Yes, his navel laser, please.
His navel laser to blast himself backwards, but it can only go so far, because if he uses it for too long, it hurts his tummy. We do get a zoom in, and President Mike is like, Yuga Aoyama, quirk, navel laser. And his voice actor, since we have his name now, is... I'm not going to go over the voice actor. We do hear all of the students in the class talk in this episode, but, like, we don't know most of their names, and they don't get a ton of focus, so it would be too many voice actors.
Yeah.
Aoyama's voice actor, though, is Joel McDonald, who is, Tector Hodunk in the Borderlands franchise.
What a name!
Yeah. And Brief in Panty and Stocking.
Okay.
And Kosuke Kuwano is his Japanese voice actor, who is... Yeah.
No one else?
No one else, really.
Okay, no one else that you recognize, at least?
Background character, like bar patron, I think, was one of them.
Okay, yeah. And then we get, Ochako
Uraraka.
Ochako Uraraka.
Yes.
Whose quirk is zero gravity.
Mm-hmm.
She can touch things and make them float.
Mm-hmm. If she holds it for too long, gotta barf. She fucking floats a baseball away into infinity.
Literally, Aizawa's little device just says an infinity symbol. Tenya Ida, also, again, we get his quirk, Engine, which is just he has fucking rockets on his calves.
Yeah.
It looks like there's, like, metal under the skin.
Yes.
In some parts, and it's fucked up looking.
It's fucked up looking. I hate to look at his calves.
This is what you get in a universe where all superpowers have to be biological. You get weird shit like this. And we basically just get more montage of the students doing stuff. A lot of them don't get names yet, like the frog girl.
I think
there's a guy with a tail.
There's a guy with a tail.
There's a guy with 6 arms.
Yes. Yeah.
There's Great Boy.
There's fucking Great Boy. We see him.
There's the girl with the ponytail, the black-haired girl.
Yeah.
Who's in the opening.
I don't know if we see her use her powers.
We don't, I don't think. But we see her in the background sometimes.
Yeah.
And Izuku
is like, hey, everyone's got some real crazy scores.
And he has, like, not good ones.
And we see him getting ready for the baseball throw.
Yes. It is his turn to do a baseball throw.
And he's like, all right, considering the other activities I have left, this is kind of my last chance to do anything.
And he is afeared because, again, one for all will break his body. But he's resolved to use it to throw the ball real good. And he rears his hand back and throws the ball, and we get just as the ball is about to leave his hand, we get a zoom in on Aizawa's face as he's watching.
And his eyes, like, flash.
Yes. They, like, flash red, and
the ball just plunks to the ground.
Yeah, it goes, like, 40 meters or something, I think.
Not even that,
Not even that, probably.
And Izuku is like, hey, what the fuck happened? And he turns around, and we see Aizawa, and his scarf has, like, floated off of his body.
Yes, we see he's got these, like, weird gold glasses, like, hanging around his neck, and his hair is also, like, flying up as this is happening, and he explains, I erased your power. I erased your quirk, because I know what it did to you, and you can't do that. Were you planning on just fucking killing yourself to throw this baseball? You dumbass child?
And Izuku sort of is, like, shocked at that for a second, but then he sees Aizawa's goggles and is like, oh shit, I know you! You're the erasure hero, Eraserhead! And the kids in the background are like, Eraser? I've never heard of him.
And of course, Izuku knows the most obscure pro hero here.
There's one other. I think Frog Girl is like, oh, I've heard of him. He does stuff on the down low.
We do get like a little side flash to him just standing on a building. And yeah, they talk about him doing secret stuff. He's not a very public pro hero, which seems weird. Like, I don't know where he gets money then, but I guess he's a fucking merc.
Yeah. Also, he's a teacher now.
Well, but, teacher salaries.
Yeah, I know. We pan over also to All Might, who's still hiding behind the building, and he's like, Aizawa thinks really poorly of pro heroes like me because we look good in the public. He doesn't think the media should have any influence on us.
Which, somewhat fair. But also, All Might is a symbol of peace.
All Might's cool.
He's got a statue.
And then...
No one bad has ever had a statue.
No, never. Never. Hey, you want to go visit the Robert E. Lee Memorial soon? And then Aizawa deactivates his erasure of Izuku's quirk. His scarf sort of falls back down. And he's like, all right, do it. Go. Don't break your arm this time.
And Izuku... Aizawa has some more stuff that he talks... Every character in this show talks way too much for us to summarize well.
Yeah.
But he talks about, like, Izuku could never hope to be a pro hero with a quirk that, if he uses it, will just break his body.
I think he also compares Izuku to All Might at some point, and is like,
yeah,
your fucking confidence but also stupidity reminds me of a certain other hero who saved a bunch of people all those years ago.
Saved like 100 people or something.
Yeah.
Or 1,000 people, I think it was. But yeah,
and then
Izuku is preparing, trying to figure out what the fuck to do about this baseball throw, which I do like that this show has managed to, like, this is a high stakes, tense scene about throwing a baseball good. Which is fairly impressive.
Yeah.
And we get, as he's contemplating this, we get a flashback.
Yeah.
Back to the beach.
Right.
Near the beach. And All Might is trying to explain how to actually use One for All without killing yourself. And he's just like, you have to feel it! And Izuku is like, can you be a little more specific, please? And All Might tries to explain, like, you just have to feel it. You have to, like, focus on not letting it overcome you. Like, think about how it felt when you punched that big robot. And Izuku tries to, like, articulate how it felt. Like, for example, scary, I'm pretty sure he says.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
And then he's like, oh, it was like an egg in the microwave.
Yeah, trying to keep the egg from exploding. And All Might is like, haha, that's pretty boring, but alright. And tells him to just focus on the egg metaphor. Just, like, focus on making sure, if that's the metaphor you go with, turn down the wattage of the microwave.
Or cook it for less time.
Yeah. And make sure that the egg doesn't explode. And we sort of cut back as Izuku is thinking about this. And he is monologuing to himself again. Trying to psych himself up. And he figures out what he needs to do, if he can do it. And we see him reel back on the ball. And we see everybody is watching very intently. Again, it's a very prolonged scene. But again, it's tense. And he starts to throw the ball, and the last line, I'm pretty sure, of his internal monologue is him saying, I'll focus on what I can do right now.
Yeah.
And we see like a very close zoom in on his hand holding the ball, and just as it starts to leave his hand, we see his finger, just the very tip of his index finger, start to glow. And the ball goes shooting off into the distance. And does not go as far as Ochako sent the ball.
No.
Because her magic powers are very good for throwing a ball very far. But does send it farther than Bakugo through his.
Yes. And he, turns to Aizawa. And is holding up his broken finger.
I think he says to himself, it hurts, but not as bad as before. And All Might, he's very proud of himself. The music is swelling. And
Aizawa is like, this kid.
This fucking kid. What the fuck? And All Might is monologuing to himself about what just happened.
He basically explains to us.
Yeah. He waited for the exact right second to just put a tiny amount of his power on the ball.
And he's like, young Midoriya, when did you become so cool?
And then the episode ends on that very sort of triumphant note.
Yeah.
And next time on, hero basic training.
Yeah.
We get some hero basic training. Izuku and Ochako discuss the episode to come, and how they're going to have to work as a team to in a mock battle against Ida and Bakugo. And Izuku is very concerned about that.
There's something also about Izuku having cute bunny ears or something.
Yeah, which doesn't show up in the pictures, so I don't know what's up with that. But yeah,
that's those episodes.
Yeah.
We've finally gotten to the Hero Academia and My Hero Academia.
Academia.
Sorry, you're right. We've seen some of the other characters.
Yeah. Also, I have realized another thing that we forgot to point out.
Oh?
We've basically forgot to point this out twice.
Oh?
Because plus Ultra.
Right.
Plus Ultra is a thing in the show.
Right.
Let's take a trip back to Present Mike.
The second episode.
Yeah.
Last time, Present Mike, as part of his presentation, was like, go plus Ultra!
I think he's like, can I get a plus Ultra? And then the crowd is silent.
Yeah. And when Aizawa is telling the kids to use their quirks to the best of their abilities, he's like, go beyond, plus Ultra style.
So that's just the school's motto, I guess. I wonder if it makes more sense in Japanese.
Maybe. I think it might just be English and Japanese. They might just say go beyond.
Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Good. But yeah, so those episodes were very good.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. So, okay, I want to talk about the quirk. I want to talk about Izuku's quirk.
Izuku's quirk. So last time you were like, I really hope that he doesn't get a ton of power immediately.
Yes. And I think this strikes a good balance.
Yeah.
Like a fun balance. Because he has a very powerful quirk, but using it fucks him up real bad. And it fucks him up real bad the first time, but this episode, the later episode, shows us that he can learn how to use it in ways that are less damaging.
But it's still limited because, he still broke his finger.
Yes.
Which means, if he's just using his fingers, he's got 10 uses. And that's probably still not going to be great.
And he has to focus really hard even on that.
Yeah.
And part of the monologue that is, it's a phrasing that has come up multiple times across multiple episodes, I think. He talks about how he has to work twice as hard as everyone else here.
Yeah. Izuku has to break the glass ceiling.
Yes. We'll talk about that. And I think that works really well. He has been given a quirk, which he earned through his actions.
Yeah.
It was not something he was born with.
Right. He worked very hard.
Yes. And he has to keep working hard to use it well.
Yeah.
And he does all of this while being also the, ironically bravest and most kind-hearted of the students so far we've seen.
This isn't like an isekai where Izuku is just some fucking shitty twerp who gets transferred to a magical world and now he has maximum power that he can use whenever the fuck he wants.
He has been given a privilege that is still less privileged than the people around him.
Yeah.
Which I really like.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun way to do, hey, like, superpowers are fun. I like to read stories or see stories about characters with cool superpowers, and he has a cool superpower, so that's fun. But it does it in a way that is engaging with the theme very well of, like, who cares if not all men are created equal if you can rise to the occasion. And I like that a lot.
Quirks are to blame, Professor.
I can't wait till we get a character whose plan is to just remove all quirks. I can't wait for the show to have anti-syndrome. But yeah, so the work twice as hard thing, the glass ceiling thing, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting to me. So, okay, like, that is clear, like, I can't imagine that's accidental, like, co-opting of that for, like, work twice as hard to get half as far phrasing.
So, for one thing, I don't think it's accidental, but also it is, I don't know if it's a thing that exists in the original Japanese, which...
That's fair.
Should not keep us from discussing it.
Right.
Because the dub is a text on its own.
Yes.
And it's the text we're engaging with.
Yes.
Just something to keep in mind.
It's like the not all men are created equal thing. Yeah. Like, literally, that's a fucking Thomas Jefferson line.
I have no idea if they say that in Japanese, or if they, like, that's just not there.
Or if it's, like, similar, but, like, not literally.
It is in this version of the show that we're watching, and it's not, like, nonsense. It is clearly something that they have repeated. So,
Izuku is not, like, a perfect metaphor for every marginalized group.
No.
He's a Japanese boy.
He's a Japanese boy in Japan.
In Japan. He like, sure. Like, but at the same time, this is, like, the school structure, for one thing, adds to, like, the metaphor, I think, of the powers. Because Izuku is a... How do I explain this? Izuku feels like his metaphor that applies pretty well to him as a character is, like, learning disability.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I don't know if that's intentional, but, like, it's definitely something to work off of.
Yeah, or like, I could very easily see autistic readings of Izuku.
Yeah,
like, his fucking superheroes are his special interest. And that also is kind of his superpower right now.
Yeah,
like,
basically.
He is smart. Like, he's high wisdom smart in D&D terms. He like, knows the powers. He knows pro heroes. He knows how they do shit. He knows how to apply that knowledge, and he knows, like, he can figure out clever ways of getting around the limitations of his power.
We know that he's not necessarily super book smart because he only did okay on the written exam.
Yes, that's true. So he feels very much then like the stuff about working twice as hard and everything feels very, very much like the other students are the, like, quote unquote smart kids. Like, they are intuitively good at what they are doing. And Izuku is not.
Right.
He has to work extremely hard to do what they can do.
Right.
Which is very, like, that's a real thing that people deal with all the time. Even if it's not literally learning disability, it's like, some people don't test well, some people don't study well, study methods don't work for everybody.
Right. It's like, you know...
but you can still get an A.
Right.
At the end of the day, anyone can get an A, but some people will have an easier time getting an A than others.
He is the kid who gets into a, like, very expensive private academy on the merits of that he was clever enough to figure out some way to pass the test to get in. He isn't like in the superpower as privilege metaphor. He isn't like a trust fund baby.
Right. And also that ties in with the superhero theme by making it so that, like, he's not just clever, although he is. Like, that is reiterated to us multiple times in, like, this episode with him, like, figuring out how to use his quirk in a way that doesn't break his arm. He's also, like, he also emphasizes the theme that the most important part of being a superhero in this world, like, not from the perspective of society, but from the perspective of the show, is being a good person and sacrificing yourself.
Yeah, which he literally has to do to use his quirk.
Yes. Good point. I didn't even think about that. Like, yeah, he literally, like, takes fucking HP damage every time he uses his superpowers.
Yeah.
That's very cool, having the themes baked into, like, the world building like that. I love shit like that. And also, I love superhero narratives. Yeah. This is, like, reiterating to me that, like, superheroes are so...
They're fun.
They're both fun, and, like, there's so much interesting and, like, meaning you can pack into them.
Yeah. Also, I just remembered, there is a bit where someone says, with great power. I don't remember...
Yes. No, I know what it was. All Might says, with great power comes a great amount of paperwork.
Right. Which that probably wasn't added for the dub, that was probably in Japanese, because, like, this show and the manga are very clearly inspired by Western comics. But we missed pointing that out, and it's very funny.
Which also, like, reinforces another part of the themes of the show, or at least the aesthetics of the show, which I assume will tie into the themes at times, which is, like, superheroes are a normal thing in this setting, and they have to deal with mundane bullshit like paperwork and paparazzi and stuff like that.
You have to get a license to be a superhero, which I don't remember if they've said that yet, but like...
I guess you could assume that from the fact that there's, like, superhero-specific academies. Like, otherwise there would just be a bunch of teen vigilantes. And I do like... I like when they incorporate accountability somewhat into superhero narratives. So yeah, like, these 2 episodes were really good. Like, the more I think about them, the more I'm into them.
I'm glad.
And Izuku still cries a lot, and it's very good.
Yes, yeah.
And Ochako is very cute and cool. And her quirk is fun.
I love that
Frog Girl is cool.
I love that, like, she gets damseled a little in the first episode, but she does end up saving Izuku as well.
Yes, which I like a lot.
Definitely softens it for me a bit. It doesn't make it perfect, but...
I like that she's our character, our, like, main example of a balance between Bakugo and Izuku, because she is good at combat, and she gets a lot of points, but she also got rescue points for saving Izuku.
And also, if she uses her quirk too much, she got vom.
Yes. And also, that reminds me of another thing. Aizawa.
Yeah. Right.
So, when he finishes his fucking tirade against Izuku, his eyes are still, like, really red.
Yeah.
Even after they're not, like, glowing. And he has a little thing of eye drops.
Yes.
That he just drops into his eyes very casually mid-speech. And I love that. Like, it's very much, again, even fucking Yuga, Naval Laser Boy.
It makes his tummy hurt.
It makes his tummy hurt. Like, there's a lot of elements of using a quirk does come with drawbacks.
Unless you're Bakugo.
Like, again, like, even among people with quirks, there are varying levels of quirk privilege. And Izuku is on the bottom tier.
Yeah. I don't know if they've like said this explicitly, but you can kind of assume from the eye drop thing that, like, Aizawa has to keep direct eye contact on someone.
Yeah, to erase their powers. Also, I love that his codename is Eraserhead.
Eraserhead.
Fucking...
Yeah.
I can't wait until he turns into a weird baby. Just a weird, fucked up baby.
Anything else you wanted to talk about?
I guess not in particular. These were very fun episodes, and I'm excited that, like, it lived up to the themes I wanted it to live up to, even while still giving Izuku a superpower.
Yeah.
Because, again, and also, even if, I mean, I don't think it would work as well as a story so far if Izuku's superpower was just really good. And, like, zero drawbacks.
Yeah, I don't...
But also, there is the element of he earned it.
Yes.
That I do like a lot. Like, he was not born with this. He earned it by being a really good person. And being unconsciously willing to save others before saving himself.
Yeah. That's all. Thanks for listening. As always, you can find me at Lorena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Frylord Zarek on Twitter.
And you can find the show at late_school. And thank you to Suichi Sakagami for use of the song True.
And thank you to the cicadas that you may or may not be able to hear in the background at this time, who are our co-hosts for this episode.
Yeah, it's fucking beetle fucking season again.
I can't wait for people in the comments, our friends in the comments, to just tell you they're not beetles.
Will they? Do you think they'll tell me that they're not beetles?
Well, I will.
God, you're an asshole.
They're not beetles. I don't know what they are, though. They're cicadas.
Yeah. You know what they should do? Go beyond.
Plus Ultra.